Meanwhile, at LuthorCorp, Lex is pondering his late wife. He knows she's alive because she's already arrived to try to kill him. Ah, Luthor love. He also continues his search for the woman who rescued him. We know she's Kara. He doesn't know yet. Elsewhere at the Daily Planet, Jimmy Olsen has taken a photo of the dead girl and gives it to Chloe.
Oh, so apparently we're getting another blonde chick to take care of this problem. Alright, Smallville, whatever.
That's why Chloe gets Jimmy in the end. This is the Daily Planet's new editor, Gabriel Grant. He has some important subplots later on in the season, but for this episode, he's just her annoying boss. And he sends her on this assignment even though she would rather cover real news stories and not media freak stuff. And we know why she doesn't want to cover media freak stuff now, don't we? Banjo song. Back to the forum, Clark and Lana discuss Kara's impetuousness and all how Clark had to keep secrets just like she did and how it made him kind of uptight and serious and how Kara needs to find her own way. It's not a bad scene or anything. It's good Smallville.
I can't believe every word that you wouldn't understand.
I mean, you're just so amazing, Bella. You're just so amazing, Lana.
Pro tip, writers. When you need other characters to tell the audience how awesome and important your favorite character is, you have already failed.
I always knew you were smart, Lana. I didn't know you were brilliant.
During song rehearsal, Jimmy photographs the two girls talking together, but they see that he's photographed them, and they go to kill him.
Like idiots.
Yes, because nothing's more incriminating than that you were talking with your friend. Yeah, by the time you're in a car and it's freezing and the metal handles are actually breaking off from that kind of exertion, you're not just as good as dead, you are already dead. This is an occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge situation going on. They freeze Jimmy's car, but Kara saves him. Ilsa sees Kara super strike the car open and notes that she must be special. Lex comes to the Kent farm to meet with Lana, and they have a diabolical discussion. Basically, Lex has used his legal connections to clear Lana's name out completely, and everything's clear again. Not counting the $10 million Lana embezzled from Lex, because, oh, that's just what's done. Except for Lex isn't even upset by this. He admires it.
I was trying to escape.
And you say this was a messed up marriage. However, Lex does inquire about Kara before he leaves. Clark and Chloe meet up with Kara at the hospital and find out about Jimmy, that he's okay. Because everyone meets up at the hospital at some point in Smallville. It's almost as common a set to be used as the Kent farm.
I saw the door you ripped off. Was anyone there?
You mean, did I screw up like you keep expecting me to? I'm sorry if I was a little busy trying to save Jimmy's life. Why don't you be proud of me?
Kara,
I'm gonna have to weigh in on her side on this one.
Yeah, so am I.
So am I.
So apparently the three girls were well-known media freaks who would go around, disguise themselves as eye candy, and then rob the place. And they're called...
Meet the Weather Girls.
It's raining now!
Oh. The girls meet up with Kara to try to recruit her into their own little coven of thieves.
I saw you, Kara. You're a very talented girl. No, I'm just like everyone else. No.
Is Kara playing dumb here, or is she just dumb?
Well, she's making the genuinely confused face, so I'm gonna go with option 2.
They show her a photo of the treasure, which apparently shows a Kryptonian control key with a really, really crystal clear showing of the Kryptonian language. Yet this caught no one's attention. Look how blurry that photo is. Nope, not done with the computer at all. She joins them, but then later on that night she is broken into the time capsule and taken all of its contents away before the Weather Girls can.
Stop!
But Kara is still at the pageant that night. Meanwhile, at Luthor Mansion, the government agent Lex has been talking to about various issues comes in and inquires about the woman Lex has been looking after. Lex admits that she's probably just a figment of his imagination from when he nearly died, and leaves it at that. Then he points out that all the research he was doing in the dam was actually research to defend us against an alien invasion coming, which Lex has been sensitive for ever since he was possessed by the disembodied spirit of Zod. As happens in life. You know, given that invasion, and Zod's people the year before, and Brainiac attacking, yeah, this is just smart. Meanwhile, Kara wins the pageant. Because of course, Kara wins the pageant.
I'm skinny and
then she gets arrested right in front of everyone. Clark comes to visit Kara in jail and convinces her not to break herself out, which is a moment I kind of like, that she could get out easy, but he convinces her to follow the rules.
Until Chloe can get you out legally, just give me the map.
I can't.
Why not?
When the sheriff dragged me away, there was some freak gust of winds and blew it away.
Okay, it's all right. It's all right. Sounds like one of the weather girls.
It's raining!
What did I tell you?
And she points out the whole Kryptonian key thing and that they need to find the treasure, and so Clark's off. Clark arrives and fights the girls, and they just kick up some random kryptonite that they were digging around. Seriously, Clark, how are you not dead years ago from all the kryptonite barely under the surface of the ground?
How can you walk even 6 feet around this town without falling down and puking up your guts?
Kara shows up and kicks butt, but she discovers kryptonite herself for the first time, and we see that she is not immune either.
But she's smarter than her cousin.
She eye-beams the kryptonite. Either she's learned to control it, or the kryptonite's really turning her on. Why didn't I ever think to do that in the last 7 years? God.
Freaking idiot.
They make up and Clark admits to his shortcomings. He can't fly, he's never thought to do this. Can we change this to the Supergirl show?
Well, if it means every week we have stupid girly CW drama, then no.
Next review, Kim. Save that for the next review.
Oh.
They examine the key, but even Kara, who's familiar with Kryptonian society, doesn't recognize it. It's obviously been here for at least a century, but she insists that whoever has it must still be alive because the key is still here. Because we've never had people go off into the Phantom Zone or leave the planet while technology there stayed behind.
Or, die.
I may have been born on another planet, Kara, but Earth is my home. Everyone I love, everyone I care about is here. It's where I belong.
What about in 50 years? Look, we both know what's going to happen to everyone that you love.
Are you hinting that Kryptonians are immortal here on Earth? That's weird. But meanwhile, Kara has got a job at the Talon. Because someone always has to work at the Talon, otherwise we'd have to strike the set. Meanwhile, at Luthor Corp, Lex's people have found Kara.
Well, pop the champagne.
Elsewhere, Jimmy and Chloe discuss Media Freaks, and how he is all in on hunting him down now, not knowing that he is talking to a Media Freak himself.
Awkward.
More Lana drama! Seriously, where's that gun from last time? So, Clark and Lana are officially a couple. Again. Just so they can eventually break up. Again. One more time and they get a free frozen yogurt. Outside the Talon, Lex shows up and talks to Kara. He spills all the stuff about his past and his darkness and that he knows that Kara really is special and he just wants to hear it from her and be trusted with her secrets, unlike someone he can name. And the episode ends on that. Yeah, later Smallville, they really gave up on having just a single story and really they had a small story surrounded by a bunch of season-long stuff that filled it out, which wasn't bad as long as you have the whole season. And that's Fierce. This is really 2 episodes. Like I just said, there's stuff that contributes to the season-long arc, and there's some essential stuff for that, and puzzle pieces being put together, and that's not badly done. But the episode itself is your standard freak of the week that they were getting tired of even by the end of season 1. There's nothing unique or interesting or special about the Weather Girl.
That?
I'm not gonna. Heck, we even had an Icefield all the way back in season 1. And that was uninteresting too.
The Iceman cometh, the audience goeth.
Supergirl's role in Smallville was a very interesting one and unique because instead of Superman being established and Supergirl wanting to live up to his example, it's more like Supergirl was the far-ahead role model for Clark to look up to, mostly because of their idiotic no-flights, no-tights rule that kept him from ever becoming true Superman, even all the way to the very end of the show. Laura Vandervoort is not too compelling, but she's also not irritating or offensive or anything. She has the edge and competence that Helen Slater lacked, while Helen Slater had the decency and kindness that Laura Vandervoort is lacking. And in my opinion, if you combine the two, you end up with the animated Kara, also known as the best Kara. Next review will be the new Supergirl series, and we'll see where their series is going. Is it going to be better, worse, just the same? We'll see then.
All right, you can do it.
It's raining men! Hallelujah, it's raining men!
I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna let myself get
It's taken from Linkara.